I would yield now to the gentleman from New York, Mr. Maloney, such time as he may consume.
The gentleman from New York is recognized.
One of the sponsors of the bill.
Well, I'm proud to be one of the sponsors of this bill. I thank the gentleman from New Jersey. I want to thank my colleague Chris Gibson from New York. Here we are again. Just a month ago, my colleague Mr. Gibson and I were working to lower energy prices in the Hudson Valley across the aisle, and here we are working again on an issue of tremendous importance to our region. I support this bill, the Tick-Borne Disease Research Transparency and Accountability Act, along with so many others, and I want to acknowledge Mr. Gibson's leadership on this issue. I'm proud we're working across the aisle because Lyme disease is an epidemic in the Hudson Valley, and it's hurting our kids, our friends, our families, and it's happening everywhere, on our playgrounds, in our backyards, at parks, at picnics, on trails in the woods. It's the invisible, silent disease that so many find themselves developing, and far too many find out too late. It's now one of the most common and fastest-growing infectious diseases in our country, and every year there are hundreds of thousands of cases nationwide, with 96% of those cases in only 13 states. In New York, thousands of my neighbors in the Hudson Valley are suffering from Lyme disease every day. 4 counties in the Hudson Valley, including Dutchess and Putnam counties, have reported the highest rates of Lyme disease in the entire country. And I hear about it everywhere I go. A man named Alex from Washingtonville told me he's been suffering from Lyme disease for over 35 years. I spoke with a man who has a tree cutting business in Garrison, New York. He said he's got about 12 guys working for him. I said, how many have gotten Lyme disease? He said, every single one. All of my guys have Lyme disease, he said. A member of my own staff spent a month this summer injecting himself through a catheter that was put into his heart with heavy-duty antibiotics. He had to sit on a couch every day and inject antibiotics into his heart. A member of my own staff because of this disease. And thank God he caught it in time and will make a full recovery. But I met a woman at an event in Poughkeepsie who came up to me with a cane. She couldn't be more than 30 years old. She was with her husband. She said, our whole lives have been ruined by this disease. My husband and I were just starting our life together. We were going to have a family. We had big plans. And now all we do is deal with this chronic Lyme disease that I have, and I can't get better. There's a woman named Valerie from Westchester County who wrote to me that says, no one listens. I hope you will listen. Well, we are listening today, Valerie, and I urge my colleagues to listen and pass this critical bill. This bipartisan legislation makes a landmark investment in Lyme disease and other tick-borne illnesses so that our friends and families in the Hudson Valley no longer have to suffer in silence. When folks are suffering, they aren't thinking, I guarantee you, Mr. Speaker, about partisan politics. There's no Republican or Democratic Lyme disease, and Americans expect us to work together, and that's why I'm proud we're doing so today. We can stand up, we can stand shoulder to shoulder, and say the health of our communities is too important to wait. And for neighbors like Alex and Valerie and the others I mentioned, and so many others I've never met, I want you to know we're listening. And I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 4701 because our constituents deserve a government that is working for them, that steps up to the plate when they need it most. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from New York yields. The gentleman